Hello and welcome to Skills in Automation. My name is Ash and today we're going to look at one slightly different way to find the last row in a range of data. I've published 4 videos on traditional ways to perform this activity using range.end, current region, special cells, and find. This video though is more about organizing our data in a certain manner so that it is easier to perform any further manipulations. And to cut the mystery short, I will highly recommend using tables in your Excel template files. They're truly a game changer and simplify so many tasks that we would have to perform separately. For example, formatting and formulas get copied over down whenever you paste in new data, eliminating the need for you to set those formatting or formulas separately. For this video, however, we will just stick to the topic of last row and follow 3 common examples where we would use the last row. Just a quick note, this slide will repeat in each of my videos on finding the last row since we'll follow the same format and cover the same examples in each video, just with different techniques. Please skip to the next timestamp if you prefer. So, one of the most common tasks that you would come across in VBA is finding the last used row of a data range. 3 common use cases for finding the last row are: identify the full range of data that you may want to perform some task over, example, to loop over the data, change formatting for the data, etc. Copy and paste the range of data elsewhere. This is a continuation of point 1, but a more specific and common example would be where you want to copy the data and paste it into another worksheet or workbook. Paste new data at the bottom of the existing data. That is, we need to find the first unused row below our data range and paste new data in there. We will cover each of these 3 examples in this video. And just a bit of housekeeping, I want to mention that there are many ways of performing the same activities presented in this video. For this video, we will not spend much time discussing alternatives. This video is designed to deep dive into just the technique of finding the last row using tables. I have separate videos that discuss each alternative method and one video that briefly discusses all methods together and suggests which one to use and when. Please do check those out as well. If you're not using tables, you should. That's probably way too blunt. To put it a bit more subtly, you should at least consider transferring your data ranges into tables. Some scenarios where tables just shine are when connecting to external data sources to extract data easily, updating pivot reports based on the table, or maintaining formulas and formatting even if data is added or deleted. So with the benefits of tables out of the way, let's get straight to finding the last row. This is our data set. Let's put it into a table. We could do this in code, but the point I want to make here is that we can create and format our Excel template file manually and use VBA just to update records when needed. So click anywhere in the range, go to Insert, Table, or just press Ctrl T. The whole current region gets selected. And yes, my table has headers. Click OK. Our table is created. Now let's come to table design and give this table a name. And that's it. Our table is ready. One more thing. I want to add a VLOOKUP column in column K that finds the product group of the product that we have in column E. Here's the data that we are going to VLOOKUP against. Let's write the formula in the second row. Click enter, and great. The rest of the rows autofill the formula. Let's give the column a name. Okay, our table setup is done. Let's head on over to the VB editor and get coding. Before we begin coding, I just want to mention that throughout this video, I will refer to the worksheet using the worksheet code name. So instead of going this workbook.sheets and the worksheet name, we can simply use the worksheet code name directly. And the code name can be found in the properties menu out here. There are many benefits to this, but we won't get into it now. Okay, moving on. To find the last row of a table, we need to first be able to access the table. In VBA, we would refer to a table as a list object. Let's declare a variable to hold the table and set it using the table name. Great. Now we can access all the properties of the table. Let's declare a variable now to hold the last row. If the table header is in row 1, then we can just count the number of rows in the table, and that will equal to the row number of the last row in the table. So here we're just counting the number of rows in the entire table range, including the header. And let's print this result out. Okay, let's run this. This tells us that there are 14 rows in the table and the last row with data is in the 14th row on our Excel sheet. But what if the table doesn't start from row 1? So here it's starting from row 3. Then we need to grab the row number of the last row using its index number. So what we'll do is just copy this part, park it below for now. So we need to feed in the row index number, which is, and let's grab the row. Okay, let's run this. We get 16 as the last row number, and it is indeed 16. That's it, clean and easy. Let's move on to the examples. Let's identify the full data range and select it. To select the entire table, including headers, we can just access its range directly and select it. So we'll grab the range and select it. Let's run this, and our table is selected. This seems similar to just selecting the current region, and it is that, but it's going to get a whole lot better. What if we want to select only the body of the table? That is the table excluding the headers. Via current region, we would need to resize the range, but the code for that is a bit of a mouthful. Not with tables though. We can select the body of the table directly using data body range. So we've got a property called data body range, which is basically the data body range of the table, and select it. Let's run this. Just our body is selected. And one last use case before we move on to the next example. Let's loop over this data and print the word invoice in every adjacent cell in column L. Let's grab the last row. First, let's add a table column in column L. This is not necessary because a column will get created when you paste in data, but this way is a bit more tidier. So we will just go list columns and add one in. This will give us our 12th column, and we can give that column a name. So we'll invoke that column using the index number, and we will name it as new data. To iterate over range, we need a counter or iteration variable. So let's create a loop. Now for the loop, we can do a for each and loop over the data body range, but I just find this way a bit more convenient. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to place the word invoice in every corresponding cell in column L. So the current row in column L is nothing but I. Okay, that's the code for it. Let's run this. Great, that works. A new column got created. The column header is called new data, and the word invoice pops up in every adjacent row in column L. Okay, moving on to the next example. Here, we'll identify a range of data as we did in the previous segment, and we'll copy it over and paste it into a new worksheet. And we don't even need the last row to do this. But I'm keeping this example here to keep it consistent with other videos on finding the last row. So first, let's clear the contents on the destination worksheet. Copy our data range, and we'll paste it, but we will paste it using paste special because we do not want to copy over the formulas that we have in column K. So we'll paste it in our destination worksheet in the range starting from cell A1, and we'll only paste the values. And just to keep things tidy, let's auto resize the destination columns. And that's it. Let's run this. So this is our original data range, and we can see it's been pasted out here and all the columns have come through. So this works well. Moving on. Here, we'll identify the next row below the last row of our table and paste in new data there. And this is the data that we're going to copy over. Let's find the last row of our table. And this will just give us this row. What we want is the row after that. So we can just add one to it. And now let's grab the data that we want to copy. So this data is not in a table. So we'll grab the last row using the range.end property. So what the range.property is, so in the range.end property, what we're going to do is go to the right bottom of the Excel worksheet and then control up, which will take us to the last row in the table. So this is pretty much the same thing. In column A, we're going to go to the last row in the worksheet, and the last row in the worksheet can be found using the rows.count property. And once we are at the last row, we can control up, or in VBA terms, end and Excel up, and then grab the row. Now let's copy this data over So we're going to copy just the body of the data, which is going from the second row, so A2, and it extends till column J. And for the row, well, we can just grab this variable here. And where are we going to paste it? We're going to paste it into our invoice worksheet in the row that we identified up here. Let's run this. Great. It seems to have worked well, but here's where tables truly shine. So what did we copy over? We copied over data from column A to column J. So that is this data right here, extending up until column J. And the magic of tables just brought down the formulas that we had up here. This is not something that we did through code. This is just the table reacting to new data that's been just added. And that's awesome because it saves us writing new code to autofill these formulas down. And that's it for finding the last row using tables. The code and techniques that we have used here is far simpler than used in my other videos of finding the last row. And that's because all the properties that tables gives us access to help us easily manipulate data. I hope this video would help encourage you to start using tables where applicable. And as mentioned earlier, there are other ways to find the last row in your dataset if your dataset is not in a table. I have separate videos on those as well as a video combining and comparing different techniques. Please check those out as well. So, which method do you prefer and why? Please tell me in the comments below. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe. Thanks and see you in the next one.